Next, you want to sweep the floor. Use a flat shovel to get most of it up so you don't have to sweep the fine stuff into the trench. Take this opportunity to sweep the walls down too. If there's any loose debris or dust on the walls, sweep it off now. Next, you want to install your wall system, if any. Bright wall, clean space, or thermal dry should be installed now so the waterguard can be installed against it, because it's hard to tuck in behind the waterguard later. Make the wall material go down below the floor level about 2 inches. The next step to me is key and kind of fun. Get a garden hose out and wash down the floor and walls and flood test the system at the same time. Sweeping is not enough to clean the floor. If the floor is dry, there will be fine dust on the floor after you sweep. If the rubble was wet, then there will be a pasty dirt and cement mixture on the floor that sweeping just can't get off, but smears around instead. So use the garden hose to wash this off the floor and spray the water into the waterguard trench. If necessary, another guy can use a broom and sweep the water towards the trench so it doesn't run to the center where you have all the homeowner's stuff covered up. Take the opportunity to wash the stairs if you can, and wash down the walls, and wash other stuff that got dusty from jackhammering, like the basement windows and sills, sewer pipes, oil tanks, the water tank, and so on. Just don't spray down the electric panel or anything electric. The homeowner will marvel at how you left the basement cleaner than you found it, and may never realize how you did it. Another very important thing you're doing with the hose at this point is flood testing the system. But the system is not in yet, you say. Well, it's the trench that's doing the work of draining the water. If the trench drains to the sump location without filling up close to the surface of the floor, then your system will work the same way once you put the waterguard in. If there is a problem with the trench draining, you'll have the same problem when the waterguard is in, so it's best to find out now. You know, water is the ultimate level. Fill the trench up with water opposite the sump and see what happens with the flow around to the sump. If it's necessary, you can get the jackhammer out again to make the trench a little deeper here and there to make it flow perfectly to the drain outlet. If every system is flood tested like this before the system is put in, we would never be surprised by any flow issues in the future. Besides, you have to get the hose out anyway to wash down and clean up, so it's no extra work. You're also flood testing the sump and discharge line. Inspect each joint on the discharge line for leaks after the pump is run a few times. Better to find a leak now than have the homeowner find the leak later. You can also see what is happening with the water where you ended the discharge line and make any adjustments on the spot outside. The floor and walls dry up pretty quickly after you're done washing and flood testing. You can leave the hose out to mix the concrete with later.